Good afternoon and good evening, depending on your time zone. Massive Media welcomes you back to this program. Today we are going to look at the main reasons behind Mr. Wike's political scandal and intimidation in Rivers State. When the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked rules, the people mourn or groan or relieve signs of pains. Reign of terror and dictatorship are masterminds of evil leaders. Nigeria is once again in the hands of evil rulers headed by Mr. President Tinubu and APC gangmen. All these are caused by what is called Godfatherism in Nigerian politics. The question is, what is Godfatherism? We will define this in accordance with Western World Dictionary of African Politics. It is interesting to inform the African society that new dictionary has been created for them to square with their own political system. According to Oxford Dictionary of African Politics, Godfatherism is primarily in Nigeria to refer to wealthy and powerful figures who exert political influence behind the scenes while often remaining out of the limelight. A classic godfather will have earned their money through government contracts or access to countries' oil wealth, and will have used all leisure to establish a network through which they can influence political developments. That is what is the definition in African Standard, and this is related for the moment to Nigeria alone. A successful godfather, for example, will be able to shape not only who is nominated to contest any election, but also to ensure that he wins the election. Example of this cannot be far-fetched. This is exactly what is playing out in Rivers State, Nigeria. Mr. Wike, a crafty man of Ijaw of Rivers State, is using the tactics he learned from his current president, Mr. Ahmed Tinubu. What Mr. Wike did not realize is that Rivers is a multicultural state, unlike Lagos State, which is a monocultural state, where the president, aka Jagaban of Lagos, ruled from 1999 to 2007. Yorubas has only one language, unlike Rivers State that has multiple languages and different ethnic tribes or different tribal settings. To understand the politics of Rivers State, one has to bear this in mind. The state is divided into two major groups, the riverine and the upland area. The dominant ethnic groups are Ogoni, Ijaw, and Ikwere. The upland state, covering about 45%, is composed mainly of Ogoni and Ikwere people, although there are many other minority people within the region. The riverine also is surrounded by water, covering about 39% of the total landmass and holds a significant Ijaw population. That is the setting of Rivers State political field. Mr. Wike ignored this fact and believed he can threaten any other ethnic tribe in Rivers State because of his selfish ambition, like his activities to hijack PDP, for which he excised 50% control of the party because he wanted to be president or vice president to Mr. Atiku, but failed to achieve them. Emulating Mr. Tinubu, Mr. Wike stated he wanted a man who would protect his back, a man who would not expose his financial crimes and lootings of Rivers State funds. As long-term planner, Mr. Wike began to influence their nominations at PDP conventions as his term of office was about to end on May 29, 2023. To further take control and loyalty, Mr. Wike both sponsored and bought nomination forms for them as their children to be sent to examinations. According to Mr. Wike himself, quote, "The governor of Fubara and all elected officials in Rivers State did not buy nomination forms from their pockets. This is evidence that he prepared their loyalty earlier before the election." and wanted to play the Godfatherism in every area of their appointments. Mr. Wike wants to be like his master, President Tinubu, who controlled Lagos after he left office. The question is, why did Wike decide to do this? Mr. Wike wants to be like a king, crime-free, and the controller of the state at any level, because there are competitions between him and the former governor Amechi, who was also a member of APC and contested the same presidential ticket under the APC, the same party he criticized when he was in PDP. Like Mr. President, Wike is protecting himself from the expected actions of EFCC. He has been fighting with the former president of Nigeria, General Buhari, to avoid investigation of financial mismanagement of Rivers State money. Example, Rivers State Governor Nyesom Wike has reiterated that EFCC has no power to investigate the financial transactions of Rivers State government. This was as far back as 2019. Secondly, in another publication from Channels Television, Wike made it known that EFCC has no power to investigate state government. This was on 9th May 2019. Rivers State Governor Wike has reiterated that the EFCC has no power to investigate. Thirdly, he confronted the former president and told him that he should disband EFCC, ICPC, and that they are illegal organizations. Wike tells Buhari. This was in April 2022. So all this, Wike prepared himself and wanted somebody who will protect his back. And he happened to choose Mr. Fubara. Fubara on his own will only work as a governor of a state. Not all politicians and governors installed by their godfathers always obey them. Some rebel against their decisions, and Fubara happens to be one of them. Fubara has refused to protect him and take directives from the Tsar of Obiabo, Mr. Wike. This infuriated him, like always known as Angry Lion. Mr. Wike triggered the crisis between the governor, Mr. Sim Fubara, and the state lawmakers loyal to him. This led to the resignation of about 27 loyal lawmakers in the state of House of Assembly. However, Martin Amaole made it known that only those who are loyal to Mr. Wike defected from the People's Democratic Party to the All Progressives Congress. As the commissioners and the members of House of Assembly resigned, the Speaker of the House, the factional Speaker of the House, Edison Ehie, declared that the seat of the defecting lawmakers now becomes vacant. Again, the spokesman to the government, who remained anonymity, said Fubara had no input into the appointment as the predecessor was solely responsible for their selection and appointment. This is the effect of Godfatherism. It is the godfathers of political groups that are causing tension in the country. Mr. Ehie Edison continued. He stated, the resignation of the commissioners was confirmation that the governor of the state, Mr. Fubara, has no control over the commissioners. They were all appointed by the godfather of the Port Harcourt zone of APC, Mr. Wike. So leaving the governor without any choice but takes control of everything. This means that the governor has no nominees, no list of his own commissioners and advisors when he was entering into the government. He was just put on the seat by Mr. Wike as to control the system. We will remember again what happened in Ekiti State in 2018 to 2019. Even where the security agents are being used by both governors and the federal might. The federal government used the security men and women to activate the Godfatherism project in Nigerian politics. We refer to Mr. Fayose, the former governor of Ekiti State, who was battered by Tinubu stroke Buhari's APC, using the federal government political talks such as police, army, and DSS to attack political opponents, including the governor himself, who was shot, surrounded in the government house, and was shot for him to give up his position as the governor of the state to APC. That is Nigerian Godfatherism politics. They use every standard, every means to intimidate and hold power. Mr. President and the Nigerians are enjoying the destruction of their democracy, which civil society, politicians of all classes, journalists, and the security agents are happy about, watching the political structure being destroyed by disgruntled politicians. The lawyers, the judges are also happy with the destruction of the democratic process of Nigeria by some gangs of criminals in government. That is the value of Western democracy in Nigeria and the Nigerian constitutional practice. The presidential system brought about by former president and the military head of state, Mr. Olusegun Obasanjo, because of his close relationship with the former American president, Jimmy Carter. This process has been put to shame. All activities confirm that Nigerian politicians emanated from criminal activities and submerged into Nigerian political and the leadership arena from their grandmasters in government like General Babangida, Chief Basanjo, Malam Buhari, and Abdul Salami Abubakar. All these are they are all richest group of politicians in Nigeria, and others are imitating and following their steps. That is what is causing political tension in Rivers State. With this, these are the results of political godfatherism in Nigeria and why Rivers State is burning. Wike wants protection and control, but Mr. Sim Fubara wants to rule and have his own legacy as the state governor. With Mr. Wike's political jamboree in Rivers State, he has created ethnic tension and war among the Rivers tribal groups. His ambition has put the Rivers State into political war. With this, we come to the end of this very program. Thanks for watching. Do not fail to share this video and leave your comment. God bless you all. Thanks for watching.